Did they, during Thanksgiving, did you see Kirby pull out any gold, silver
Yes,
coins?
I saw him bring it from inside to outside to the deck where we were.
Let's talk about the house. Where did Kirby keep his valuables?
So he had a room in the house we refer to as the safe room. But basically when you walk behind the living room, there's a hallway, and to the left was Enola's nursery, and straight ahead there was a restroom, and then to the right there was a small room, and it was just full of safes. And so he had several safes in there, and that's where he kept his valuables.
All right. Do you know, were those combination safes?
Yes.
All right. Did you have the combination to it?
No.
Who had the combination?
Kirby, and Kirby had it, and I know my mom had it.
All right. What kind of car did Jeff usually drive?
It was a silver Cadillac.
All right. Did you ever see him drive a van?
I did.
When was that?
So I'm not sure exactly when it was, but at one point he had driven a maroon van down here. He had a load of puppies that Kirby was going to help him sell at First Monday at the trade day.
Okay. Is that the only time you saw him drive that?
Yes.
And you don't remember when that was?
No.
How was Jeff's behavior at, would you describe it at Thanksgiving that year? Was anything odd about it, or was it normal? Or?
I mean, he was inviting. His behavior didn't seem off or anything.
All right. Okay. And the Spences, Jeff and Karen, purportedly or supposedly left on the 29th.
That's what we were told, yes.
All right. You didn't actually see them leave?
No, I did not.
Who told you they left?
Caitlin.
All right. All right. So we know that Kirby was killed on the 30th. When did you learn he'd been murdered?
On Friday, December 2nd, around lunchtime.
All right. And did you try to contact him on the 30th or the 1st? And you said that Friday was the 2nd, correct?
Yeah, correct.
So Thursday would have been the 1st. Wednesday would have been the 30th.
Yes.
All right. So did you try to contact him before you learned that he had...
The only time that I tried to contact him before I learned what had happened was, I believe it was actually earlier on Friday that day. He had a large camping thermos of some sort that he and I and my husband had all talked about, and he had tried to sell it to my husband. And my husband at the time told him he didn't need it. Well, for some reason that day we were talking about it, and my husband was like, see if Kirby will still sell me that thermos. And so I had texted him about it, but didn't get a response. But I didn't think anything about it at the time.
Okay. And that was on the what day?
That was on December 2nd, I believe.
The morning?
Yes.
All right. And when did you learn had been killed?
It was around lunchtime. My husband and I were eating, excuse me, we were eating dinner at the Mexican place, and I received the call. It was actually from my mom's phone, but it was a first responder to let me know that Kirby had been found dead.
All right. And you said it was a first responder?
Yes.
And what did you do at that point?
I'm sorry.
Take your time, and if you need to take a break, that's fine too.
I answered the phone, and I could hear my mom screaming in the background, and I didn't know what was wrong, and I kept saying, what is it? And the first responder got on the phone, and he said, ma'am, there's a deceased male that's been found. He told me who he was and that he was with the fire department. And I was in the Mexican place, and the music was loud, and I stepped outside so I could hear what was going on. And I walked in and told my husband, I said, we have to go. Kirby's dead. And we left, and my oldest daughter was at home, and I didn't want her to hear it from anybody else. And so we went to the house, and my husband left in one vehicle, and I went in and told my daughter, and then I left and went directly to Kirby's.
All right. Now, when you got to Kirby's, who all was there? If you
I
remember.
don't remember completely. There were a lot of first responders and firefighters. Law enforcement was there.
Your mom?
I don't remember seeing my mom. I think she had already left.
All right.
I think she had already left at that time.
Caitlin there?
No,
No, Caitlin's not there?
not that I'm aware of. I can't remember.
Is it a
at the
blur to you?
Kind of, yes. But I think at the time that I got there, they had all already been instructed to leave. They wouldn't let anybody, come up the hill to the crime scene.
Right.
And I stayed for quite a while because I just like nobody that cared.
Okay. Was your husband with you at that time?
He was.
Do you remember how long you stayed?
A few hours.
Okay. All right. So you eventually go home?
We all left and went to Mom's, so everybody was gathering at Mom's house.
All right.
And so when I left from Kirby's, I went to Mom's. Everyone was there.
And who all went to your mother's? Besides your mom, you, your husband?
Caitlin was there. Her friend Bailey came. Lots of people came. I can't remember who all ended up coming. My sister and her husband and their kids eventually got there that evening.
What was Caitlin's demeanor like when y'all got to Maddie's, your mom's?
She and Bailey were just sitting in the living room kind of chatting with one another, and of course she had the baby with her.
Right. Had another with her?
Yes.
And was Towns there?
No.
Towns with his mom?
He was with his mom in Memphis. Yeah, Kirby was supposed to have picked him up that day.
Okay. And so, did you go home that night?
Yes, eventually.
Do you know that, so y'all stayed around?
We stayed at Mom's for quite a while, and at one point my husband said we need to go home and try to get some rest. And so me, him, and Bristol went home. My sister and her husband and them all stayed at Mom's that night. And then we went back to Mom's early the next morning.
All right, did Caitlin stay with your mom that night?
She did.
Okay. All right, so that's 12-2.
Yes.
All right. And at some point, Caitlin went back to the house, correct?
Yes, actually, when I got to Mom's the next morning, Caitlin had already left to go back home.
Be the 3rd.
Correct.
Which is Friday.
Saturday.
Keep up with that because I'm
Okay.
having trouble. So the 3rd comes. Anything significant happen on the 3rd? Let me ask
We
you
were
this.
all gathered at Mom's on the 3rd, and that is when Caitlin's parents arrived back at their house, and
Did you see him?
She and Jeff came to Mom's later that day.
All right.
For a brief time.
All right. What was Mr. Spence's demeanor like?
Just kind of standoffish. I didn't really converse with him or anything that day myself.
All right. Did you go to Kirby's house that night or that day?
Not that day, no sir, I did not.
That was on the foot. Wasn't there an incident involving there was another car that Kirby had there, a Subaru maybe?
Yes, so he had a green Subaru, and it was parked actually kind of backed up in the area right where his body was here, and the car was backed up basically in front of where his body was, kind of.
All right. Did you see the body?
No.
You did not?
No.
All right. This Subaru, it was Kirby's car, and there's been some prior testimony about your mom and another individual, I can't remember who, grabbing some coins out of the Subaru.
Yes, so what happened? Yes.
Tell the jury what happened.
Okay, so on Friday night, after the scene was cleared, after Kirby's body was gone, and law enforcement had done whatever they had to do, they called my stepdad and they said, someone needs to come down here. We need to turn the house back over to you guys. So my stepdad asked me, he said, will you go down there? So I went, and Caitlin came. We went in separate vehicles, but we went down there. and they told us, that we were welcome to go inside the house. I believe it was a lady named Tammy from the MBI who was there with us, and she actually wanted to interview and speak with Kate for a little while, and I tended to Enola while that happened. And then she told me to escort Kate inside and let her get some things for her and the baby to take back to my mom's house. And as we were about to leave, we were actually getting in our vehicles. One of them stopped me and said, hey, just so y'all know, the Subaru sitting over there is unlocked and there's a lot of silver coins in the back of it. And I went to Kate and I said, hey, they said that the Subaru is unlocked and that there's coins in it, we need to lock it. And she said, okay. So she put Enola inside her vehicle, and she and I walked over to the Subaru to lock it, but it wouldn't lock. Like, if you have your key inside your vehicle and you try to lock it, it just immediately unlocks. It kept doing that. And so Kate was fumbling all around inside of the car trying to see, is the key in here, why is it not locking? And we couldn't get it to lock. So we went ahead and left and went back to Mom's, and I told everybody in the carport that was there, I said, oh, by the way, Kirby's Subaru's sitting down there and there's a bunch of coins in it and it won't lock. And so it's my understanding that later, after I had left, Mom and my brother-in-law went down there and retrieved those so that they wouldn't be open to just anybody.
Took them to her house.
Correct, yes.
All right, and then and that was on the 2nd?
It was the night that his body was found.
All
Yes.
right, and was it unusual that the Subaru would have coins in them?
No.
And I believe on the Monday the 5th, got my day right?
Monday was the 5th, yes.
All right. An estate was open, correct?
Correct.
All right. And I believe everybody was instructed to bring whatever items they had belonging to Kirby to Bart Adams' office.
Correct.
He was the estate attorney.
Yes.
The person that y'all hired to
Yes,
handle
Mom
the
and
estate.
I went and met with him on Monday morning because of an incident at home on Sunday, so that we could get an estate established and make sure that items were not continuing to leave the home.
All right. We're going to get to that. But
Okay.
the items that your mom took that night, because y'all couldn't get the Subaru locked,
Yes.
were those returned to Bart's office?
Yes, they were taken to Bart's office to be put into the estate.
All right. Now, the third, you said the Spences, Jeff and Karen came back.
Yes.
Obviously, Caitlin's already there. She never left.
Right.
Spent the night with your mom on the 2nd, spent the night at the house on the 3rd,
Yes.
and then on the 4th, what happened on the 4th?
So on the 4th, I had gone to Mom's, and we were trying to make plans. We had been told that we didn't know how long it would be before they could get Kirby's body to Jackson for an autopsy, and we were just trying to think of things they needed to handle. So Kirby had always told us, even before he was successful and had things, he was a planner.
A planner?
Yeah, he was a planner, and so he was very particular about things, and he wanted his arrangements handled a certain way if something happened to him. Like I said, even before he was successful, he would always tell us that he would have what he wanted to happen if something happened to him written down for us, what he wanted to be buried in, all of that, in detail, that if something happened to him, and he's always told us where it would be. So he had told us that if anything ever happened to him, that those instructions would be found in Towns' safe, the safe that he had things stored for Towns in. So Mom and I had talked about it, and we went down to Kirby's house that day. We arrived, and Jeff was actually standing in the yard. There was a cardboard sign that had been strung up and tied to the side of Kirby's truck, like to the side mirror, along with a metal folding chair, and it said something along the lines of, "Please no visitors today," or something like that.
Who put that sign up, do you know?
I don't know.
Okay. You didn't?
No.
Maddie didn't?
No.
Okay.
And so we got out of the car. Jeff was standing there. We spoke to him. Mom actually received a phone call, and she had kind of walked up the hill to talk on the phone. I was having a conversation with Jeff, and I asked him, how's Kate doing? And he was like, as well as can be expected. I asked how the baby was. when Mom got off the phone, she came down the hill, and she said, I need to go in and use the restroom. We'd like to see Nola. And we need to look and see if the instructions that Kirby's told us are in his safe. So we walked into the house, and she went to the bathroom. I stopped and played with Enola. Enola was being held by Kate on the sofa when I walked in. Mm-hmm. And Mama went to the bathroom, and she came out, and she played with Enola for a minute, and then she rounded the corner behind the wall to go toward the safe room. And as she did that, I saw Kate's mom look at Jeff, and he did this to motion his, he motioned his finger to his lips like, be quiet, don't say anything. And I thought it was strange. And as Mom went around the side of the wall, I could hear, Jeff followed her, and I heard him say, now, Maddie, we don't need you down here causing problems. And
stop you there. Had your mom been causing problems?
No.
Okay. Not that you saw.
No.
All right.
And so I had this, bad feeling in my gut, and I was like, what is he talking about? And so I walked around the hallway, and he was facing the door, actually kind of leaned in, blocking the door, and Mom was standing in the safe room, and I saw her turn around and say, how am I causing problems? And I actually asked him, I said, how is she causing problems? We have to bury my brother. And at that point, Jeff turned and looked at me, and he said, do you want to talk about this in the garage? And I said, sure. So I went to the garage, and he said to me, we heard you guys think that Kate had something to do, or saying that you think Kate had something to do with this.
Now, who said that?
Jeff said that to me in the garage.
And what did you say?
I said, I don't know why you've heard that. We haven't said that. And I actually told him, I said, I'm not sure how things are where you're from, but you're going to find that you're in Ripley, and you're going to hear all kinds of things that may or may not be true. In fact, I had heard that morning some completely ridiculous something, and I told him, I was like, I don't remember what it was at this point, but I was like, you're going to hear things like that. I said, but we have not said that we think Kate was involved in this, and at that point we didn't. So we continued our conversation, and Mom ended up coming out, joined in the conversation, and she assured him, we've not said that. The conversation ended, and then Mom's words to Jeff were, now can I please go in here and do what we came here to do? And he motioned like, sure, toward the door, and Mom walked inside. I followed her in. I sat back down on the sofa to play with Enola, and I could hear Mom in the safe room attempting to get the safes, and they were making the noise like you had put in the wrong code. And
but did she have the codes?
Yes.
Your mom did? Okay.
Yes. And so I immediately knew why he had said to her, we don't need you down here causing problems. In the meantime... Because
why? What's your opinion on that?
Because he knew it would be a problem when she couldn't open, when she realized that she could no longer open the safes.
Okay. Who would have changed the codes on the safes?
Well, we asked that question, and we were told that he didn't know, that we would have to talk to Caitlin about that, which we later found out that Caitlin changed the codes.
All right. Go ahead.
So during that time, we don't have real good phone service down there. Mom's phone had actually died. She had placed it on the charger in Kirby's room. People were trying, a friend of Mom's was trying to call her and me and couldn't get us, and she had gotten concerned. And she had called my stepdad and told him that she couldn't reach us, that he needed to check on us. So my stepdad and my husband ended up showing up down there. We didn't know they were coming. I had actually texted my husband and told him, we've had some words with Jeff, just letting you know, because I was very uncomfortable. And so they ended up showing up down there, and my stepdad asked, well, actually my husband walked in first, and he was like, what's going on down here? Why are codes being changed and doorknobs being changed? And my stepdad asked a question to Jeff, and he said, we're showing you guys grace. Y'all are in our home. And
This is Kirby's home.
correct. And at that point, my stepdad said to him, this is not your home, this is Kirby's home. And there seemed to be a lot of tension. And during this time is when my mom discovered that the trunk of Jeff's Cadillac was loaded down with canvas bags of Kirby's silver.
Now, how do you know that?
Because I saw it.
All right. Was the trunk open?
When I walked outside, yes.
All right. And when you're talking about loaded up with silver, were they in bags or?
Yes, it's like canvas style bags that are drawstring at the top
Okay.
of silver.
All right. And then
Coins.
So what happened after that?
Mom removed the coins from the trunk, things from inside the house, and we left.
Okay.
We left and went to Mom's.
All right. And were those items taken to Bart Adams' office
Yes, they were.
for the estate?
Yes.
Any cash in all that?
No.
Mainly silver?
Yes. Just coins.
All right. This day on the 4th, let me ask you this before we get to that. Are you aware of any items that your mom took from the house that did not get turned back into the estate?
I'm not.